Hey y'all, like my relatives in West Virginia and Kentucky. Actually, they didn't say y'all, but they had that hillbilly accent. My mother's relatives lived in Kentucky mostly. Uh, some in West Virginia. The Ohio River separates Kentucky and West Virginia, and so my mother's family on both sides of the river, but mainly on the Kentucky side. And the only time I visited them, I was welcomed in Kentucky and by my mother's relatives. My father's brother and his family didn't welcome me at all. I was like imposing on them when I went out there to see them. That's the fundamental difference maybe between Appalachia and mainstream suburban America. You're more welcome in Appalachia, I'm thinking. At least my mother's cousin, there was Herb and Bob Green. Yeah, and I met both of them, I think. Oh yeah, Bob Green was such a nice guy. For some reason, he's dialed into my sister Candy though, and how she was doing. And whenever we had a conversation about the family, he'd always go, "How's Candy? How's Candy?" And I'm like, I don't know. She's okay, I guess. Never been real close to either of my sisters. To my brothers, yeah, Jeff and John. John passed away April 2021. That was brutal. And he's the youngest, 60 years old, and he couldn't stop. He just couldn't stop substance abuse. He couldn't stop. Every day, it's like, and then if you saw the conditions that he lived in, like an animal. Like an animal, like a hog, in a barn. Oh, I don't know. I have an idea what happened to him. Man, he just couldn't get off the sauce or the drugs. Anyway, and my brother Jeff, I'm not close to anymore either. So that's just the way things work out sometimes. People do things and they don't realize what kind of effect they're having, and they say something or they do something, and it causes real damage in a relationship. And that's not just with my siblings, but with somebody I knew from Bell. Man, she did some things. First she says she loves me, and then she does some things that like just end up being like a bucket of shit in my face. Public humiliation and insulting. Okay, but you love me. That's like George Carlin's routine on God. You've got to follow these 10 commandments, and if you don't, you go to hell and you burn in eternal conflagration and flames and torture and heat. But God loves you. That was what she was like. Oh my God, I can't go there. She's gone, so I gotta just get on with things. But yeah, yeah. So it's July 25th, 2023. For me, every time this year, it's actually 1997 because I'm taking my very first steps into Bell Atlantic, as an employee. And I feel like it's a dream. It can't be true. It can't be actually happening, but it was, and it did. And my financial life was turned around in so many ways. My gosh, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I tried to, actually I did give up photography at that time and videography, but work still came to me. And I was still flying. My pilot's license was current, so I'd take a day or half a day once a month because I was doing such a good job. My supervisor didn't care. He said, I don't care if I ever see you as long as you keep blowing your number out of the water the way you have been. I'd take a half a day, go out to the airport and fly, and I'd bring my camera with me because that's what I've been doing for the last 30 years plus. I took some pictures of the Exton Mall under construction. I decided to print, just for the hell of it, print them up, drop them off at the construction trailer. Sure enough, they came back and hired me. They wanted me to do monthly aerials, progress aerials on the Exton Mall upgrade. And then after 6 months, they contact me and say that they want me to do progress aerials on all of their projects all over the country. This is my first full year in Bell, 1999. It was like really horrible year socially for me because of something this girl did to me. It just, you know, she did something in a lounge to me, that a bar lounge kind of place, that destroyed and wrecked the relationship right then and there, like in a matter of 30 minutes. And we've been going out for a year, and in 30 minutes she threw that all into the garbage disposal and insulted me. She met somebody that she fell in love with at first sight, you know, a black guy, and she just fell in love with him at first sight, and so she started putting me down and saying all kinds of horrible things about me. I mean, awful, insulting, humiliating, personally and publicly. She announced to the whole bar that we weren't married. Don't worry, I'm not married to that guy. I'm not married to him. Fuck you. You're goddamn right you're not married to me. I'll never fucking marry you. And she wanted that too, up until this moment. You know, she was thinking, oh, we're gonna be together for a long time. Like, I don't know, maybe. I was starting to think about marriage. And then she made a big announcement. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this place we were in. And then she tells, you know, her new man friend that I don't know anything about love. Fuck you, Jackie, okay? Fuck you. And how I ended up letting you hang around me for the next 24 years is, I know why, but it makes me sick to my stomach. It really does. God can mess with you like in a way that's just hard to believe. It really is. Anyway, so this day, 26 years ago, today is a Tuesday. This day was a Friday, the 25th of July, 1997. So 25, 26, 27. I always mess this up. So it's a Tuesday now, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah. So it's a Friday, and I was planning on continuing to work this graveyard shift at Intermediate Marketing. And after 2 days of paid training, 2 days out of the 6 weeks of paid training, after the first day, I realized I can't work at IMM anymore and really get into this training. And I was determined. There was nothing that's going to keep me from doing well in this class. And, you know, most adults will tell you that going to school isn't work. I love it when my kids, when they were in college, they'd get like, you know, an Easter break, and they'd call it a vacation. A vacation from college. The only thing is they're paying for that vacation. You know, the college is a vacation, but they're paying big money for it. And then they say, oh, we get a break. We're on vacation. Vacation from what? Reading? Studying? That's not work, folks. I don't know. I guess they know that now. I don't know. Things aren't going well with them either. It's kind of in the dregs, sadly to say. Anyway, so today was my last day at Intermediate Marketing, so it would have been tonight, you know, because I'm working the graveyard there. And I told them last night, I said, tomorrow night's my last day, or my last, you know, time with you. It's my last day. I called it a day, but I'm working nighttime there from 7 to 2:30 in the morning. And I just, you know, realized after the day one of training yesterday that I'm not going to be able to mentally give anything to Intermediate Marketing. And being there till 2:30 in the morning and having to be a bell at 8 o'clock in the morning just didn't, it's no good. Just, you know, I realized immediately, you know, it made it possible that my learning from this 6 weeks of paid training, my learning what they wanted me to learn was going to be compromised if I stayed at IMM till 2:30 in the morning. So it was an easy decision to quit IMM. Still, it was a little tugging on my heartstrings, you know, because IMM was kind of a transitional period for me from being a photographer, videographer to doing what I wasn't sure, and then I got the gig at Bell, and man, what a gig! Wow, oh, Lord, it was a miracle. It was just a miracle. So I'm very grateful to God. I just wish that personally and socially things had been better at Bell, but you don't get everything you want, you know, most of the times. But like Mick Jagger says, you don't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need. And I got what I needed. I did get what I needed. Thing is, I needed love too, and it was couched in a kernel of disgust. Really, really stomach-turning disgust and vile kind of interaction with this person. It just, it's a funny thing about the past. It can really mess you up. You cannot change it. There's nothing you can do about the past. Ask Admiral Kimmel or Captain Smith from the Titanic. Admiral Kimmel from Pearl Harbor. Would they like to change the past? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Between the two of them, they were responsible for the deaths of like about 5,000 people. Good God, man. How would you like to go around with that albatross hanging around your neck for the rest of your life? It'd be very bad. Very bad. I mean, it's like every day Kimmel would... I can't imagine being him after December 7th of 1941. I cannot imagine being him. Because any interaction he has with any other person, first thing those people are going to see is, you're the guy that really screwed up on December 7th, 1941. You screwed up in the worst possible way. And when a bullet that was spent bounced off of Kimmel, he said it would have been merciful if that would have killed me. And it would have been. It would have been. Pretty sad deal, man. But that's on him, man. He had so many warnings. Washington was sending him warning after warning after warning. How is it on the morning of December 7th, 1941, none of the airplanes are in the air? Not a one. And he was told there's a good chance for an attack against Pearl Harbor by the Japanese with a carrier force of like 6 carriers on a Sunday morning. That's the memo he got. And so Sunday morning on December 7th, is there one airplane in the air? Not one. How is it possible you can leave, the pearl and the jewel of, our nation's Navy completely undefended? And then he hears about a submarine trying to sneak into the harbor that very morning, or like an hour before the attack started, like around 7 o'clock, and the destroyer, the Ward, fired on it with its guns, and they hit it as it was like sticking up out of the water, and the submarine dove, and then the Ward depth charged the submarine. The report went back to some guy who said, don't worry about it, and then Kimmel hears about it about a half an hour later, and he's upset that nobody told him, but he had a tea time at 8 o'clock with General Short. And he was asked, do you want to cancel your golf appointment because of this submarine thing? No, I still want to tee off at 8 o'clock. You buffoon. I'm sorry, Admiral, but what a buffoon. What a buffoon. Sorry, Val. I don't like starting the day off this way, but, I'm just talking about the past. I just wish that I had broken up with this person. Like a clean break. There was a soft break, moving away, but she weaseled her way back into my life. What a flippin' weasel. My God. And she was playing both sides of the street with this other guy, And I think that she didn't want to give one up for the other. And so she was conning both of us. But thank God for me that I wasn't intimate with her for a very long time. And I was just like, okay, she wants to hang around me. Hey, get away from me. Get away. Go away, man. I don't want you in my life anymore. And she started stalking me. Fucked up, man. Jesus. I'm sorry. Have a good day.